Hi learners, welcome again to Reading with Mrs. Evans. We're going to continue and hopefully we're so close to finishing the twits. I'm really excited that we've only got a few episodes to go and we'll be done maybe 2 or 3 episodes at the most. So we'll see how far we get today. But then it means I've got to find another wonderful text and there's so many to choose from. We'll see how we go with this one though, because it's getting exciting and we know Mr. Twit and Mrs. Twit went off to buy a gun. We wouldn't do that these days. We don't need guns in Australia, and certainly it just indicates how much of a horrible person Mr. Twit might be. Here we go. The next chapter is called Mugglewump Has an Idea. As soon as Mr. and Mrs. Twit had disappeared down the road, the monkeys all flipped back onto their feet right away. "Quick, get the key!" Mugglewump called out to the roly-poly bird, who was still sitting on the roof of the house. "What key?" shouted the roly-poly bird. "The key to the door of our cage," cried Mugglewump. "It's hanging on a nail in the work shed. That's where he always puts it." The roly-poly bird flew down and came back with the key in his beak. Mugglewump reached a hand through the bars of the cage and took the key. Before I keep reading, I'm going to show you the picture. A clever roly-poly bird. He put it in his lock and turned it. The door opened. All 4 monkeys leapt out together. "We're free!" cried the 2 little ones. "Where shall we go, Dad? Where shall we hide?" "Don't get excited," said Mugglewump. "Calm down, everybody. Before we escape from this beastly place, we have one very important thing to do." "What?" they asked him. "We're going to turn those terrible twits upside down." "We're going to..." "What?" they cried. "Twits upside down?" "Oh, you must be joking, Dad." "I'm not joking," Mugglewump said. "We're going to turn both Mr. and Mrs. Twit upside down with their legs in the air." "Don't be ridiculous," the roly-poly bird said. "How can we possibly turn those 2 maggoty old monsters upside down?" We can, cried Mugglewump. "We're going to make them stand on their heads for hours and hours. Perhaps forever. Let them see what it feels like for a change." "How?" said the roly-poly bird. "Just tell me how." Mugglewump laid his head on one side and a tiny twinkly little smile touched the corners of his mouth. "Now and again," he said, "but not very often, I have a brilliant idea. This is one of them. Follow me, friends. Follow me." There he is. He scampered off towards the house and the 3 other monkeys and the roly-poly bird went after him. "Buckets and paintbrushes," cried Mugglewump. "That's what we want next. There are plenty in the work shed. Hurry up, everyone. Get a bucket and a paintbrush." Inside Mr. Twit's work shed, there was an enormous barrel of hug-tight sticky glue, the stuff he used for catching birds. "Fill your buckets," Mugglewump ordered. "We're now going into the big house." Mr. Twit had hidden the key to the front door under the mat, and Mugglewump had seen her doing it, so it was easy for them to get in. In they went, all 4 monkeys, with their buckets of sticky glue. Then came the roly-poly bird, flying in after them with a bucket in his beak and a brush in his claw. What are they going to do with all that glue? Well, the chapter next is called The Great Glue Painting Begins. "This is the living room," announced Mugglewump. "The grand and glorious living room where those 2 fearful, frumptuous freaks eat bird pie every week for supper." "Oh, please don't mention bird pie again," said the roly-poly bird. "It gives me the shudders." "We mustn't waste time," cried Mugglewump. Hurry up. Now the first thing is, I want everyone to paint sticky glue all over the ceiling. Cover it all, smear it in every corner." "Over the ceiling," they cried. "Why, the ceiling?" Never mind why, shouted Mugglewump. Just do as you're told and don't argue. But how do we get up there? They asked. We can't reach. Monkeys can reach anywhere, shouted Mugglewump. He was in a frenzy of excitement now, waving his paintbrush and his bucket and leaping about all over the room. Come on, jump up on the table. Stand on those chairs. Hop on each other's shoulders. Roly-poly can do it flying. Don't stand there gaping. We have to hurry. Don't you understand that? Those terrible twits will be back any moment, and this time they'll have guns. Get on with it, for heaven's sake. Get on with it. And so the great glue painting of the ceiling began. All the other birds who had been sitting on the roof flew in to help, carrying paintbrushes in their claws and beaks. There they are. There were buzzards, magpies, rooks and ravens and many more. Everyone was splashing away like mad, and with so many helpers, the job was soon finished. And that is the end of today's story. See you next time.
Stay tuned for more episodes.